Okay, this is our first demonstration with what we can do with LabView. And I was thinking about this. I was thinking, I should do an introductory thing about how to load all the software and whatnot that we have, but that'll have to wait for the future. Anyway, we've got a simple program here, which we've seen variants of it with the Arduino itself in writing code. So this is where we just take our analog voltage and we fade it. Now, what we have over here is we've got our pot set up and an LED. So we're going to take the pot and adjust it with the LED. Now, if we look back here, over here, there's two parts to LabView. This is like our control sections where we control the program. And then also we can open up a window that's called the block diagram. Now, this is what actually takes place. So we're reading an analog voltage and we're writing to our pulse width modulator pin. So this is kind of the controls, and this is the stuff that does the dirty work. Now, the way that LabView works, which is so much different than like an Arduino, is all you have to do is place these components in there, tell them what pin we're reading, what analog pin we're reading, tell them what pulse width modulator pin we're writing to, and the code automatically gets written after you connect everything up. And it's a lot more difficult than that, but easy to use is easy to say. Anyway, we go over here and we can run our program. So that just loads the code, and it does it just like you'd see normally in Arduino. And now if you look at the gauge, we can adjust our pot. And this tells us on the gauge where it's at, right over this doohickey. And then here's the actual readout. Now we've got too many decimal points in there, so it's kind of dorky. But you can see we're reading from analog pin 0. And now if we go over here, we look at our circuit, and we'll adjust it here. And here we're getting dimmer, 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 dimmer. And we're just about out, and now I'm reading like 1/10 of a volt. So now if we increase it, now we're reading like about a volt. There, it's about 2 volts and 3 volts, and anything beyond that it's really hard to tell, although it's very hard, but I can perceive a little bit brighter. But beyond about 3 volts, it's really hard to tell that it's dimming or not, and it's probably really hard on the video. So anyway, that's what we do, and we have our stop function, so we can stop the code. And then, well, here's stop also, and then here's start. And if we do this, and this will just take a look at our little Arduino function, when we hit the run button, what it does is it loads the code. So you can see the little flipping of the LEDs and whatnot to say that the code is running. And now we can see that, yeah, our code is functional. So it is just like doing it with the Arduino, except you don't really have to write the code. All you have to do is slap down the block diagrams. And on these, like for instance, this is our port write. So it says PWM write pin. But if we want to know a little bit more about it, it'll tell us over here. It says, oh, we're on pin number 3. And we can choose any PW pin we want. And then it's got some other all you have to do is add a few constants, and the rest of the code is taken care of by LabView. And it's pretty neat. You can change these gauges to whatever you want. They don't have to be like the speedometer. They can be kind of like a slide function, and we'll take a further look at that in the future.